Let's turn now to Yobe State, where the death toll from the boat mishap in Nguru local government area has risen to 29. Preliminary findings linked to the incident to overloading or worsened by rush hour pressure on the waterway. Michael Oshoma reports.
What began as a routine journey across water ended in tragedy, leaving families shattered and a community in mourning. In the wake of the deadly boat mishap in Nguru local government area of Yobe State, Governor Mai Malabuni has dispatched a high-powered government delegation led by the deputy governor to commiserate with families of the victims. For the delegation and rescue officials on ground, the visit was emotional, marked by grief, tears, and solemn words of comfort for those who lost their loved ones.
As of today, the total has risen from 24 to 29. 29 persons were confirmed dead, and they were all buried according to their respective rights.
As rescue operations continue, the Yobe State government says it is determined to prevent a repeat of the tragedy. The Director General of Media and Press Affairs to Governor says the state has moved swiftly, issuing clear directives following preliminary assessment of the incidents.
Matter of urgency, His Excellency directed the State Management Agency to provide the immediate families of the deceased persons with their immediate needs. The governor, since that Saturday, has been directing giving out one directive or the other.
Officials of the Yobe State Emergency Management Agency explained that investigation so far indicates that the boat was dangerously loaded, a situation worsened by peak hour traffic on the waterway.
From a deep dive assessment and risk analysis, we observed and we verified that it is due to overload. Overload is the main cause of the accident, because the boat left that community in Jigawa State around after 7 o'clock. It capsized around exactly 7:48. So you can see it is delayed hours. So all the passengers, commuters were eager and in a haste to go back home.
As families await news of missing and rescue team press on, the tragedy serves as a painful reminder of the costs of ignoring safety on inland waterways. Michael Oshoma, TVC News, Yobe State.
Let's now bring in the Yobe State Coordinator, Northeast Development Commission, Professor Ali Ibrahim Abbas. Professor Abbas, thanks for joining us on the news this hour. Preliminary investigations point to overloading and rush hour pressure as the immediate causes of this tragedy. Based on what is known so far, where does responsibility primarily lie here? Are we talking operator negligence, weak regulation of inland waterways, or perhaps gaps in enforcement by authorities? And how do you think this is being addressed to ensure accountability?
Well, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. First, let me start by condoling the families and the government of Yobe State, our dear Governor, Mai Malabuni, the entire people who have been directly affected, especially because of this disaster. Our heart goes out to them. On behalf of the Managing Director of the Northeast Development Commission, Mohamed Gwani Al-Ghali, I want to assure you that the management of the Northeast Development Commission, after receiving the alert of this incident, have directed the Yobe State officials, led by my humble self, to the Gerbi site of where this incident occurred. We are working very closely with the Yobe State Emergency Management Agency, with the local government authorities in Nguru, as well as the community leaders, to really understand what the problems are. Our preliminary investigation have shown, number one is the issue of overload. Number two, the timing of this transport system from Guri, a community in Jigawa, to Yobe State. The time was actually not a favorable time for transportation. Let me also say that this is not only an issue of Yobe, it's an issue of Nigeria, because the infrastructure of our water transport system here, especially in Yobe and other places where there's not too much riverine communities, I think is still weak. And this is an issue that everyone, the federal government, the state government, the local community leaders will have to come on board and find a lasting solution to this kind of unfortunate incident. It's a lesson that is learned in a very, very hard and most difficult way. And I want to assure you, the management of the Northeast Development Commission has been speaking for quite some time with the governor of Yobe State, and the management and the governor of Yobe State will surely come out with something that will address and provide a lasting and sustainable solution to this kind of unfortunate incidents. We hope and pray, working with the community leaders, that incidents like this will not happen again. Surely the government is doing something about it.
I hear you, Prof, because critics say what has happened in a way mirrors the long-standing weaknesses in waterway transport regulation, safety awareness, and indeed the quality of infrastructure that we have in the region. We're hearing the Yobe State government announcing compulsory life jackets and a ban on boat movements after 6 p.m. In practical terms,
Yes.
how enforceable would you say these measures are, especially in remote riverine communities? Do we have mechanisms on board? Are there personnel or even funding and community engagement in place to ensure they don't remain just policy statements?
Well, I want to assure you, the first statement I heard from the community leader of the incident area, issue.
Well, we're having problems staying connected with Professor Ali Ibrahim Abbas, who is the coordinator on Northeast Development Commission. Professor Abbas, we lost you for a minute. Please go ahead. Well, as Northeast Development Commission coordinator in Yobe, there are ongoing conversations about the immediate and long-term interventions that the NEDC can realistically deploy in areas of safer jetties, standardized boats, water transport monitoring, or even community training to reduce the risk of recurrent boat mishaps in flood-prone areas like the one that we are monitoring right now in the state.